All right, so by show of hands, how many people follow the Saints in here? Okay, and who remembers Greg Williams? Okay, so you remember the whole thing. He had one of the best defenses in 2009, helped Sean Payton the Saints lead the Saints to the Super Bowl. But then 2012 rolled around, and they got in trouble for a bounty scandal that took place, where they were targeting players, and Roger Goodell came down on this and gave one of the biggest suspensions in NFL history. Suspensions happen all the time in the NFL. It could be a small suspension like just an in-game fine for one game, or a small fine, and it can also lead to major suspensions. Roger Goodell has three main things when it comes to suspensions, and they are simple in-game suspensions, drug use, and violence and crime. Simple in-game rule breaking can lead to fines and smaller suspensions by the NFL. A small rule breaking such as celebrating or hitting another player that was uncalled for can lead to a small fine or a small suspension. Chad Johnson, Terrell Owens were main targets for this when it came to celebrating. Both were fined for celebrating. Chad Johnson, Terrell Owens are the kings when it came to celebrating. Both being fined on multiple game suspensions. Saints tight end Jimmy Graham is also known for this. He was fined for dunking on a goalpost in a preseason game. Another thing is when it comes to suspensions in the NFL is fighting. Cortland Finnegan and Andre Johnson got in a fight in a game with the Texans and fights break out every once in a while in an NFL game, but when players actually throw punches, that's when the major fines come out. Andre Johnson, Cortland Finnegan both got fined and cost them both $25,000. Saints bounty scam is a perfect example of the in-game rule breaking that leads to suspensions. It was the biggest suspension ever given in Roger Goodell's tenure as commissioner of the NFL. Individual players were fined and suspended for getting paid extra to purposely take out other players on the teams during games. Drug substance use in the league is an issue in the NFL that's gotten worse over the years and has led to longer suspensions. The illegal use of drugs and the abuse of prescription drugs, over-the-counter drugs, and alcohol is prohibited for players in the NFL. This is from the NFL Drug Substance Abuse Policy. Drugs could lead to injuries on the field and could diminish their performance. The NFL has taken action on this issue, handing out heavy suspensions for such actions. A small example is Wes Welker's suspension for using a certain drug called Amphetamise. It was later reduced to 2 games due to the new drug policy. Welker came out apologized, saying, "This is not like me. This is not the character that I want to show to my fans." He said that he tried to argue the case, saying that his drink was drugged during the Kentucky Derby back in 2013. A major most recent example is Josh Gordon, who was fined for smoking marijuana on his second occasion. He was first let go for his first, he was suspended first for 2013 for smoking marijuana, and then his second offense was this year. Gordon was suspended for the entire season for smoking marijuana for the second time. Gordon tried to appeal his suspension but failed at doing so. It was later reduced to 8 games. Gordon wrote an apology to the fans saying, "I was wrong for what I did." Violent acts of crimes in the NFL had also led to suspension controversies against the commissioner, most recently in the NFL. Every once in a while, a player in the NFL will commit a crime that will cost him jail time and league suspensions. An example is Michael Vick, who was caught in a dogfighting situation where he was arrested and put in jail for 2 years. He was suspended by the league until he finally came out of jail, and then was reinstated into the league. Most recently, the NFL has seen domestic violence crimes take place. The most popular one is Ravens running back Ray Rice. Rice was caught on camera dragging his unconscious fiance's body out of an elevator. After viewing the tape caught by TMZ, the NFL suspended Rice for 2 games. The commissioner received large criticism for giving Rice 2 games. Another video later released showed Rice actually knocking his fiancee out cold. After that, the commissioner then suspended the Ravens running back indefinitely. A final example of this is Vikings running back Adrian Peterson, who was accused of beating his child with a wooden switch. Peterson was arrested but later released on bond. He is now suspended indefinitely from the league until he has a proper trial. Peterson has been suspended. So, as you can see, Roger Goodell has gone through a lot of things in his tenure as commissioner, and it only gets he's been criticized for all of this. So to conclude, Roger Goodell has said he's going to make this right in the league.